So the plan for today was to go to the Elan Valley and walk the 14-kilometre trail there, and then to head on down to the coast of Pembrokeshire to go to Marlow Beach. But having a look at the weather, things were starting to get a little bit concerning. So once I got to the Elan Valley, I decided to look at the weather, and what I was met with didn't look very fun at all. So with such high winds and such low temperatures, it wouldn't be safe to stay in the roof tent at the campsite that I wanted to stay at. So I had to make the decision quite early on to try and see if I can find a B&B. So the weather was supposed to clear up after kind of 12 hours of a yellow weather warning. And I was thinking if I spent the night in the Airbnb, by the next day I could probably continue with my journey, as it looked like the weather was going to improve. So the aim was to walk the Elan Valley, and then head down to the beach, and then head back to an Airbnb that I had found for the night. So as you can see here, on the way to the beach, the mist just absolutely came down. And although it wasn't raining very heavily, it was cold it was windy and you just couldn't see anything. So I made the judgment call, instead of driving kind of an hour out of my way to go to the beach, knowing that the weather was likely to get worse and the mist was likely to stay, I decided to divert and go to the Airbnb for the night, which is actually much closer than having to go to the beach and then back again. So unfortunately, this is where the holiday took a little bit of a downturn. It was a difficult decision, but it was the right one for the dogs. When I was looking at the temperature overnight, it was going to drop to 1 degree, which, although the dogs are going to be safe in a car, it's not going to be comfortable for them at all, especially considering they'd been out in the wet and the cold all day. So for me, it was about keeping them safe, getting my head down for the day and seeing what the next day would bring. So it absolutely tipped it down the whole night last night. So I was very, very glad that I did a bit of a detour and came to here. The question is, what do I do for the rest of the holiday now? So the weather doesn't look like it's massively going to brighten up today. And my biggest concern is, it feels like, if you look at the real feel on the weather, it feels like -3, -4. And then the temperature tonight is going to drop to about 2, well, it says 4 degrees, real feel of 2 degrees. So I'm a little bit worried about the dog sleeping in the car without any heat, which would be fine if it was for one night, as in I could get another Airbnb or I could stay somewhere. if the weather's going to look loads better for the rest of the week, but it doesn't. It's like 75-80% chance of rain for the next 2 days. So tomorrow looks like the best day, and then some crappy weather. So it's whether I want to pay for like an Airbnb tonight, have tomorrow and then go home, or just call it. And I am tempted to just call it, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm not going to get to the point where it's just purely uncomfortable. And it is just soaking out there, like absolutely soaking. And a lot of the places that I'm going to are beaches, and some other places. So I don't think it's worth it, considering I've got more time booked off, and I can do the trip, because obviously it was supposed to be a circle. I can do the trip in reverse and then go back. So go down to Pembrokeshire and go back. So I can either get an Airbnb on the way home, because it's like a 5-hour drive back, which isn't the end of the world. I've contacted a couple of my friends that are kind of on the way back, seeing if they want a little visitor to have a bit of a break, but I think I'm going to have to call it and just head home, dry out my kit, because the priority is the dogs. Like, I'm not massively worried about myself. I've got a heated blanket, I've got power. It isn't the end of the world. I am more worried about them, because they're just going to get soaked through, and it's hard to dry them off, and it's just not fun for them, and it's not massively fun for me. So it does feel like a little bit of a failure of a trip in Dora, but we live and learn, don't we? We live and learn because of the weather. I'd rather come back, dry out the tent, sort out my stuff, chill out for the rest of the week before heading back to work. So yeah, I mean, it's still been brilliant. I've gone to some beautiful places. I've seen some lovely things. The Elan Valley was beautiful yesterday. Just doesn't always go to plan, but then you kind of have to account for that. Like, it doesn't always go to plan, does it? There's just the nature of the beast, the nature of being out and about in a roof tent on a Land Rover. Do you want to go back in a Land Rover? No. Do you want to go back in a soggy Land Rover? No. We're gonna go home. I mean, that kind of says it all, doesn't it? And Watson's mildly happy about this whole situation. So I'm on my way to see some friends who live about an hour away, just to break up the journey home. So yeah, it's very, very wet. It's currently showing us 5 degrees. Where I was packing up the car with the wind chill, it was showing us -7, which is why it was absolutely Baltic. So definitely the right call to not have the dogs out on the beach and in that kind of weather. It's not fun for them, and obviously being in a roof tent, I don't really have the option to be able to warm them up easily. So yeah, it just is one of those things really. Time to head home. But I get to see my friends on the way back, and then I'm going to drive for another hour, stopping to see another friend. So that'll be really nice. It just kind of breaks up the journey a little bit. As I was leaving where I was staying, there was a bridge which had 3 arches underneath, and the water was just going through the arches. So it has rained a lot, and some of the roads are a bit soggy, which is quite fun to drive actually. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, at least I've tried the roof tent out now. The dogs have been really well behaved while we've been away. They've been really, really good. And I've been to some amazing places. So it just means South Wales will have to wait for another time and another journey. Hopefully where it's a little bit warmer. So I have just finished spending some time with my first lot of friends and let the dogs have a bit of a run in the fields they've got there, which was really nice. And it was just nice for them to see the dogs and see how they're getting on. And so now I am on my way to see my other friend Jo. So I am looking forward to seeing her. I might not be able to be there for that long, but it will be good to just see her and have a little catch up. It's not often that I am in Wales, so you know, I try and make the most of it while I'm here. It has stopped raining though, which is really annoying, and the temperature, Dora's telling me it's 10 degrees. However, the wind chill is real, like it is blooming cold, that's all I can say. It's so freezing. So when I was letting the dogs out for a run, so chilly, like ridiculously chilly. So I don't really regret coming back, even though it's a shame. And it's really, really windy. It's really windy. So it's yeah, it's the right decision, and especially the right decision for the dogs. Dora is doing me proud, actually, considering I've so far done 600 miles, like literally 600 miles now. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Fingers crossed she gets home okay though. I don't want to tempt fate